Alright, here we go then, out for Dean Aldridge's first qualifying lap. Down the straight he flies, going head down towards the hairpin in turn 14. He's had a very good lap so far. It'll be worth seeing where he can set it, the opening pace for the rest of the field to try and beat. Here comes the McLaren now out of the last corner and back toward to complete his first qualifying lap. Take a look at the time, a 1:43.9, a very good time for everyone else to try and beat. Here comes Iwardi in the AlphaTauri, heading towards the final corner himself on his out lap, ready to begin his first time lap of the session. Over the line he comes. We have to keep an eye on where he's going on his lap. Here comes the Red Bull, using the new all-white livery to commemorate Honda's partnership with Red Bull and AlphaTauri. It's Corkin Zero making his way down the straight into turn 14 himself. We'll have to see if he can beat Dean Aldridge's time, as Jonathan Gaming in Mercedes sets a 1:45.4. Optimus Prime in the other AlphaTauri a 1:45.7. Smoke and Cheese in the Alfa Romeo over the line, he's set a 1:44.4. And here comes Corkin through the final corner now to see where he stacks up among the rest of the pack. Dean Aldridge's time still the top ones to try and beat. Over the line he comes, it's a 1:46.0, not the best of times. Hopefully he'll be able to turn things around himself. Now here we turn our attention now to the Alpine of C110P Fan, the championship leader as of now. We're hoping that he'll be hoping he can add to that lead this weekend. Hopefully his qualifying form is on point for this race. You see he comes out to start his first flying up, moving out the way for the Ferrari to get their way through so they can start their own first lap. There's Afro Ninja 2020 working his way through the opening sector. Miss Paris T32 now has set the fastest time, a 1:43.7. Improvement on Dean Aldridge's first time. Haas driver did a very good job there on the opening lap. As Dean Aldridge may try and beat that lap himself here. He comes through the last corner and back towards the line. Will he improve on his initial time as he comes towards the line? He does, a 1:43.3. Very good time there from Dean Aldridge in the McLaren. Paris T32's got some work to do here if he wants to try and keep up with the McLaren machine. He's lost a bit of control there coming out of that last corner going into the next one. He's going to try and get that time back. How much time he's lost we're currently unsure of as of now. We'll have to wait until he comes around to the line and see if he can improve on his current time. Iwardi's still running down there in third, a 1:44.2 now. He's improved on his last lap. Smoke and Cheese now down into fourth place. He's pulling over to the side of the track to let one of the Ferraris through. He's caused a yellow flag in sector 3 though, so he'd have to get himself going again. Over the line he comes, no improvement on that last time. Back through turn 1 he goes. Junkin Gaming now coming into the pits. He's had a decent first run, currently runs 5th in the standings, and make that 6th, as down he falls in place of CF1 Tiago in the Williams, who's just set a 1:45.092. We wait now for the Alpine. Oh, and it appears Paris T32 has been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way, and that could be big, because he can't set any more times in this session. Yep, that's it, he's been disqualified. He's starting last for the race, and that could be big. Whether they want to try and make a comeback drive of some kind or not remains to be seen. C110P Fan coming down the track once more, trying to set improved time. His last lap must have been invalidated because he's come round, he's yet to set an actual time. Dean Aldridge still running up front there. He's got almost a full second on Iwardi now that he has no challengers because Paris got himself disqualified. Here comes the other Williams of FG Alex out for his first flying lap and getting ready for his first flying lap. 17 cars left in qualifying here, 3 of them still yet to set a time. No one able to challenge the McLaren as of now. 9 minutes left to go here in this qualifying session. Only one session in this regard. Whoever takes the highest time here will qualify on the pole for the Chinese Grand Prix. A couple more cars coming into the pits now. Down the straight comes T110P Fan. Heading down in towards the hairpin at turn 14. He's going to have to get something big out of this one to be able to beat Dean Aldridge's time. Through the hairpin he comes, nice and smooth over the apex, very nicely indeed. And coming towards the last corner now, building up speed. Of course, a lot slower qualifying laps here with the wet weather for this race. Off the last one he comes, Very careful not to get a time invalidated. Over the line he flies. And he must have got another time invalidated because no time has come up once again. We wait now for the next cars to find their way towards the line. Here comes the Aston Martin of positive. He set a 1:45.101 on his first attempt. We'll be able to see if he does any better this time round. Towards turn 14 he comes. Wardy did improve on his last time, as did Smoke and Cheese. They're both now in the 1:43 range, but not close enough to catch Deanologist. Towards the last corner, and there he goes, Deanologist setting another fastest lap. That's a 1:43.1 now. An even better time for everyone else to try and beat. Over the line comes positive. He moves up to P4 there, a 1:44.7 over the line. Smoke and Cheese coming back around here. Whether he'll be going for an in lap or not, we're not quite sure. Regardless, down the straight he comes. He's still going to want to try and set a time closer to Smoke and Cheese. As Wardy has set a faster time now, 1:43.2. He's a lot closer now to Deanologist than he was on his last run. As here comes the Alfa Romeo now into turn 14 once more, and coming towards turn 15. He's going to try and get a very good run through this last corner to have a chance here through the final corner. He flies. Nope, never mind. He's coming into the pits, and that is the end of his first qualifying run. Positive here once again, still running in P4. CF1 Tiago currently in the pit lane, but his teammate FG Alex is currently just set a 1:44.4. Very good time there, and that puts him up into 4th place. Afro Ninja's also beaten Tiago's time. That's a 1:44.5. Very close there between the Ferrari and the Williams, but still not close enough to match the Alfa Romeo, the Alfa Tauri, and the McLarens that currently hold the top 3 places. A couple more cars coming out there, outlaps now. Tiago is now back on the track in the Williams, letting the Alpine through there. C110P fan has set a time at last, a 1:46.1. Very poor stuff from the championship leader here. He has got a big lead in the standings, but that could still be very easily lost within the space of a race or two. He'll be hoping this isn't the race where he starts to lose said gap, as he lets the Haas through. It's the Haas opening Blinky Ducky. That's at a 1:55.4 timed lap. He's out on a run this time. Junkin Gaming's just started his 2nd attempt at timed lap. He'll be hoping to get a better ranking than 12th place on the grid. Currently doing better than his teammate Stephalicious, who runs down in P15, currently into the pits after the end of the first time's run. FG Alex is retired from the session. He's leaving with a 1:44, so he could very easily lose that 4th place starting spot. Does he have enough confidence that he'll be able to make it to 4th place even without setting another lap time? We'll have to wait and see. Now only 16 cars still running with 6 minutes left to go in this thing. Deanologist and Smoke and Cheese now both in the pits. Here comes Wardy once again, trying to improve. He's very close to Deanologist's time. We'll have to wait to be able to see if he can beat it. Through the left hand he comes, and then quickly into the right hand. Of course, the change in turns throughout the Shanghai circuit can catch out some drivers very easily. There he comes through the left-hander. And then back around towards the stadium section. He'll be looking to try and set a better time, and perhaps get a little bit closer to the pole time, and if not set the pole time himself. He's got a very good chance at it, is all we can say. Here he comes now. He's got a very good chance here as he comes towards the last corner on the lap. Does he have enough in him to set the time and take pole position for himself towards the line? He does! A 1:42.9 for the AlphaTauri driver, and that puts him on provisional pole for the Chinese Grand Prix. Deanologist now is on outlap. Will he be able to beat that? Smoke and Cheese still on the pits. I dare say he'll be getting ready to go out once again himself. A lot of drivers on their outlaps now getting ready to get going. Afro Ninja now out on his 2nd run. He set a 1:44.5 last time around. Does anyone have anything for Iwardy, who's just set the fastest time? Thiago coming down the straight now. He's up on his previous Sector 2 time. Going down into turn 14 once again. He's got a chance. I can definitely see him improving a bit. Here comes the Williams. He's lost it. And there he goes into the wall. And that could be crucial for him. And as a perfectly good lap, may have just gone flying out the window. He's coming in. He may have damage here. He's gone way wide going into the pits. But that'll be the end of Thiago's run. Just like that. That is painful. Stephen for 71 now on his next flying run. Will he be able to do anything to challenge the cars in front of him? FG Alex still may have made the right choice here. He still runs in 4th place. There's been no change apart from what's been going on in front of him. Smoke and Cheese still in the pits here as Deologist starts on his first attempt on this second run. He's got some serious work to do here later on in the session if he wants any chance of beating Iwardy. Of course, I've got to look at a couple of these guys on their current attempts. Corkin in the white Red Bull getting going on his next attempt at flying lap, going through Sector 1. He's up slightly on his previous times. How high that will propel him up the field, we're yet to find out. AXR Mitch here, running down the straight in the Ferrari, heading towards turn 14 once again. Can he improve on 13th place? Into the corner he comes. Here comes the Ferrari towards turn 15 once again. Only 2 minutes left in this session. Goes way over the apex there. Does he have enough to improve on his time? He hasn't got pole. He's got P4. And for the first time, FG Alex is pushed out of his original place since he retired. And that puts AXR Mitch in the Ferrari up into 4th place. He's currently now beating his teammate Afro Ninja. He'll be looking to improve on P6 and beat his teammate. The question is, will he be able to do it? The McLarens and Ferraris in particular running incredibly well as a team. Denologist in 2nd and Stephen for 71 down in 7th, with Mitch and Ninja currently running in 4th and 6th. Some of these guys here still out on their flying runs. Here comes Corkin towards the line. Does he have anything for the pole setter? Towards the line, it's P12. Not enough. C110P fan coming through. Stefanis is retired from the session. That puts us down to 15 cars still running and qualifying. Denologist also retiring. And Blinky Ducky's been given a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with the McLaren driver of Denologist. And that could be big. That puts him down to 15th place in the running. Well, sorry, he's 15th place as of now. C110P fan coming through the last corners now. Does he have anything for Iwardy, for Denologist, or for Smoke and Cheese? All who are currently within the 142, 143 range. Through the last corner he comes down towards the start-finish line. Does he have anything for him? It's not going to be pole, but it is going to be P4 there, up into 4th place for C110P fan, the championship leader. And that'll give him a much better starting place for the Grand Prix. Afro Ninja running a bit wide there, running on board with him as he takes what will most likely be his last attempt to try and stick it on pole. Iwardy's on his outlap. Does he have enough time to be able to make it round to start the next time run? I don't think he will at this point. He's slowing up. I think he may. He most likely knows that he won't be able to make it round. Denologist has retired. He's got no chance. Smoke and Cheese, however, is on timed run, so he could potentially be a threat. As Hello 6 retires from the session, he'll be starting 17th for the race. Here comes Smoke and Cheese still on it. The checker flag is out, so everyone who's currently not on a lap has finished. Iwardy still currently has pole. Denologist still in 2nd. Smoke and Cheese currently in 3rd, but could potentially improve on that. Corkin over the line, only 6th place for him on the grid. Afro Ninja's coming down the straight, weaving. I'm not sure what he's trying to do there, not sure what he'll achieve. He's spinning, the round he goes, and the yellow flag could potentially come out for that. He's hit the wall, he's managed to save the car somehow. That was spectacular. Regardless, there goes one of the Haas cars through. It looks like that's Blinky Ducky. Through the last corner he comes, he's got a 5-place grid penalty already for collision with Denologist. Can he still improve and potentially limit the damage as he comes to the last corner? He's coming into the pits. He knows he can't improve at this point. In comes the Ferrari following him in. Iwardi towards the line as the checkered flag falls. Still keep an eye on Smoking Cheese as he comes towards the line. C110P fan across the line. It's only fourth for him. Here comes Smoking Cheese towards the line. It's no improvement. Still P3. Here comes AXR Mitch down the straight. Does he still have a chance? Of course, he saw his teammate spin out. He knew the session was over and the pole time was long gone. He will not improve. 6th place at best is where he'll be starting for this one. As the Aston Martin Positive heads towards his last run. Through the corner he comes. The pole time has gone for him and his own improvement time has gone. So it looks like the field is set. And it's Iwardi in the AlphaTauri who pulled out a stunning lap. And that puts him on pole position for this Chinese Grand Prix. Absolutely spectacular lap there. Deanologist looked to have the edge at the start of the session, and he did, but Iwardi's managed to pull it out, and he's taken pole away from the McLaren. Whether he'll be able to convert that during the race, we're yet to see. Hopefully it'll be a very exciting race. It will appear that everyone has now finished. So there you have it then. That is it then. Iwardi takes pole for the Chinese Grand Prix. We will be back with you shortly for the start of the race. Here we go then for the start of the Grand Prix. It's a bit of a full start there for denologists, but nonetheless we are underway. Sorry, my apologies. The formation lap has just gotten underway. That's my mistake there. I completely forgot there was going to be a formation lap today. Regardless, the weather from qualifying seems to have cleared up here, and we have a much more exciting race on offer for you today. Iwardi will lead them away, followed closely by Denologist in second, Smoke and Cheese 86 in third, the championship leader C110P fan in fourth place, CF1 Tiago will start fifth in the Williams, alongside him AXR Mitch in the Ferrari, and it's Cork and Zero in the Red Bull, the special Red Bull livery being run today, FGE Alex 8th place, starting 9th is Afro Ninja 2020 in the other Ferrari, and it's the Aston Martin, a positive, running at the top 10. Stephen for 71 starts 11th for McLaren, it's Optimus Prime starting top for in the other AlphaTauri, being well outperformed by his teammate. Stephalicious starts 13th in the first Mercedes, and it's Dr. Guy and I in the Alfa Romeo. Johnson Gaming starts 15th in the other Mercedes, and it's the other Aston Martin of Hell 106. It's Paris T32 who got disqualified during qualifying, could have potentially set the pole time, and Blink Ducky starting in last place. So we're prepared to get going for what should be a very exciting race for you. China Notorious presenting some very good racing for you. We're hoping that we'll be able to give some more of that to you today. Be able to see the tyres everyone's starting on here. A lot of drivers seem to stick with the mediums and the hards. Only 3 drivers electing to go on the soft tyres for the start of this one. So a rethink of predictive strategy at the start of the formation lap. So here we come now towards the end of this formation lap, getting ready to go. The question now of the start, of course, that turn 1 can be potentially lethal to first lap crashes. Hopefully for these guys they'll be able to avoid each other going into that first corner. But of course, as there's any league race on the F1 game, there could potentially be carnage. As the grid now lines up as we get ready to get underway for the next round of the TakeOver Racing League Season 2, round 8 of the season, as the 2 Haas cars line up in the back. Here we go. We get going. The 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix, round number 8, Season 2 of the TakeOver Racing League. Lights out and we are underway. Down they come towards turn 1. Dean just got a very good start there on the inside. He'll take the lead going down into that first corner. He takes the opening advantage, but here comes Iwardi again back on the inside, and around goes the AlphaTauri up in front of the pack. He's managed to keep it away from everyone else, but he's okay, and that's a terrible start there from the pole sitter. 1 corner in, this race may have potentially been torn to try his chance of the race victory, may have just gone flying out the window. Regardless, Denologist leads from C110P fan, who's had a very good start there. He's gained 2 places on the opening lap, followed closely by Smoke and Cheese in third, CF1 Tiago in fourth, and FG Alex has managed to make up 3 places on the start. He's had a very good run. He runs in 5th place. Of course, look at the best start. Paris T32 has taken 7 places on the start. Blink Ducky, his teammate, same cannot be said for him. He still runs down in 18th place. There's another yellow flag here. Unsure what that's for. Looks like everyone's okay, so we shall keep racing. Denologist has pulled away to Gaff about 1.2 seconds here. He's controlling this opening lap. He's done very well so far. Was fortunate to avoid the spin of Iwardi. He's already starting to make up places again. He's moved up into 14th place. Smoke and Cheese has fallen away now from the McLaren and the Alpine. He's left there stranded on his own with CF1 Tiago being of no threat behind him. The 2 Williams coming towards them. Of course, the DRS will open on lap number 3, so overtaking opportunities for the time being. Wait, as we've got a spin in the back. It looks like the Haas of Blink Ducky has gone around. He's got himself going again. Unfortunate start for him. Iwardi's starting to work his way up through the field. He's up into P13. On around goes the Mercedes of Stephalicious, and that's a poor way to end the opening lap. as Dean just crosses the line to complete his first lap of the race, and the Aston Martin very lucky to avoid it there. He manages to come out the last corner safely and completes the first lap of the Grand Prix. Dr. Guy and I comes into the pits for Alfa Romeo, unsure what kind of strategy he's attempting to pull off today. Not sure whether this pit stop is scheduled or not. And he comes into his pit box, the Alfa Romeo team servicing his car. Looks like he may have front wing damage because they're changing the front wing. Here he goes now, the soft tyres once again being fitted, and he's away. Dean just still in control of this thing. He's built up a lead of about 2 seconds now over C110P fan. Smoking Cheese still running in 3rd place. Thiago still in 4th. Something's happened to FG Alex. I think he may have spun it potentially. No, he's got damage on the front wing. We're not quite sure what's happened there. But he has got damage, so he's going to have to pit for repairs. And that could be lethal for the start of his race. Very unfortunate there for FTG Alex as we get a predicted pit stop strategy graphic powered by AWS here. The optimum strategy looks to be a 1-stop here, but a 2-stop is always available. Paris T32 is charged, the pack continues. He's gained 10 places within these opening 2 laps. He's up into 7th place, that's well up into the points. So he's got a very good chance of a good finish here today. He's closing in on AXR Mitch. There he goes up the inside. He's gone way wide though, and that's going to open up the door for the Ferrari to get through once again. And indeed he does. So that's AXR Mitch are now back up into P6, back in control of that position. See the 2-stop there, the option to potentially pit on lap 6 to 8 and then pit for mediums again between laps 17 and 23. Those windows are open. Moving on now to the start of lap 3. Paris T32 continuing to look to the inside of the Ferrari. He's there underneath, and there he goes back up into P6, and there's no way to run wide this time. He's got the position nice and safe, and there goes the Haas driver up into P6. That's an 11th place he's gained within these opening 2 and a bit laps. He's going to have to be careful though, because AXR Mitch will have DRS this time when they head down the straight going towards turn 14, so he's going to have to be very careful there. But Mitch also has to keep his eye out for positive in the Aston Martin running just behind him. He's gained 2 places on the start. It's been a poor start for Mitch as a whole. He's lost 1 place, if we're looking at it like that, as FG Alex is currently in the pits getting repairs for the front wing damage that he sustained. And here he comes out of the pits. Any chance of points may have gone out the window in his case. He's gone a bit wide there, going through turn 1, getting himself going on track again. Regardless, Dean just still leads this thing. He's got 2.3 seconds on C110P fan behind him. Smoking Cheese still running in 3rd. The podium places remain unchanged since they did with Iwardi's spin. Speaking of Iwardi, he's currently worked himself back up into the points, and he's chasing down Afro Ninja in the other Ferrari. He opens up the DRS, down the straight he comes. Ninja defending to the left-hand side, but moves over, so he can potentially open up the door there for the AlphaTauri driver to move it up the inside. And there goes Iwardi. The pole sitter works his way further forward. That's another place gained. He's back up into P9. But he's still got plenty of work to do here, but he's definitely got a chance to win, potentially even win this race if he keeps driving the way he's going. Moving on now to lap 4 of this thing. Positive very close now to Mitch. Paris T32 is pulled away in the Haas. He's completely safe from the Ferrari and will now get to work on trying to pass Corkin in the Red Bull. CF1 Thiago all by himself here. He's 3 seconds behind Smoking Cheese and he's 2 in front of Corkin, so he hasn't got much threat to worry about. But I'm sure the Red Bull isn't thinking too much about passing Thiago. He's got problems of his own in the way of the Haas behind him. As long as he can stay out of DRS range, I think he'll be okay. But the slipstream can be deadly here in Shanghai. Positive has a penalty of some kind. Not quite sure what that's for. Nonetheless, he's still being chased by Iwardi, who's trying to defend from the AlphaTauri driver, but I don't reckon we'll be able to hold him off for very long. Moving now to the left-hand side goes Iwardi. Will he try and make a move? No, he won't. He brakes early, trying to gain momentum for when they come down the straight, but he's still right there behind the Aston Martin, who's currently trying to challenge Mitch himself in the Ferrari. Keeping an eye on Iwardi as they come down the straight here. He's really in the toe there. He pulls, when he make a move, he pulls out to the right-hand side. He's opened up the DRS. He's got a very good chance now as he drives towards turn 14. He may potentially be able to get Mitch if he brakes really late. He chooses to think better of it. But Mitch locks up there. He's gone wide, so that's going to open up the door for the AlphaTauri to try and make a way through. Has he made it? We're going to have to wait to come out the last corner. They're going too wide into the corner. Mitch has the edge, but Corkin... Sorry, that's not Corkin, that's Iwardi. I'm getting my names mixed up. He's got the DRS. There goes Iwardi around the outside, and as Positive takes it 3 abreast into turn 1, they all manage to get off clean. There's contact, and around goes the Aston Martin of Positive. He's already got a penalty, and that could add insult to injury now as he falls away from this battle. He hasn't lost too many places. I dare say Ultimash Prime will be looking to try and capitalise if he can gain enough time back, but that's not good for Positive as they go through turn 1. Very unfortunate for him. He was having a good time in that battle. He's lost out. Regardless, Iwardi now up into P7, but the work still has to continue for the AlphaTauri driver. The Enologist now still in control of this race. He's got a very big lead. Still 2.1 seconds over C110P fan, who's unable to do anything to close up. Take a look at only 2 drivers have made stops so far today. Dr. Guy and I, Nia Romeo, and FG Alex for repairs. Everyone's still on the same tyres they were when they started this race. Positive has a 3-second time penalty, so that'll be tagged onto his time at the end of the race. At this point, he'll be looking to be finishing around P13. We've still got a long way to go in this thing, so it's definitely not over. So here comes C110P fan out of the last couple of corners here. Smoke and Cheese has been running in a world of his own here since lights out. He's hasn't been able to catch up to either one of the 2 cars in front of him, and Thiago hasn't been able to close down on him. Paris T32 here still chasing the Williams driver, but he's being chased by himself by the Corkin and the other Red Bull as they head back towards turn 1. Corkin going to have a very good chance here at potentially trying to take 5th place away. Iwardi still pushing his way through the field here. He's being chased by both Ferraris. That's Afro Ninja right behind him, and Mitch is still quite a way back, but he can definitely still get into that battle, and Yonkin Gaming currently has the last point to his name. Optimash Prime did manage to find his way past Positive, is now into the pits. He's making a change onto a set of medium tyres, and he's getting his front ring repaired as well, so he'll be able to get himself back onto the track. He's currently down in P14. I dare say he may lose another place. There he goes there. Blink Ducky and Dr. Guy and I both finding their way past, and that puts Positive down into P17 as his teammate P1106 makes his way through as well. FG Alex unable to do anything there. He still runs down in the last place. I dare say he may be under threat, potentially being lapped by the Enologist once we get near to the end of this race. Like I said, there's still a long way to go in this thing. Smoke and Cheese closing a bit now. He's 1.5 seconds now behind C110P fan. Paris T32 still closing in on Thiago. Will it be long before he gets close to the move? Corkin's out of DRS range. Nothing to worry about on his front. Yonkin Gaming is very close now to AXR Mitch. He could be having to go down the straight here with DRS as in comes the Enologist, the race leader, into the pits, as does C110P fan. It looks like Smoke and Cheese is choosing to stay out and not take the lead here, as around the outside goes Yonkin Gaming in the Mercedes. He tried to make that move, it didn't quite pay off. Hasn't lost anything though, he's still there, running in P10. Here he comes now into the pit lane. No, never mind, he's moving, staying on the track here. Down the straight they come. A lot of guys choosing to come into the pits here. Denologist coming out the pit lane. He's got a set of soft tyres on. He's currently down in P9. All this will move Iwardi closer towards the front now. He's up into P5, but of course, obviously he starts to pit, as does Smoke and Cheese, who now inherits the lead from Denologist and C110P. He's given a very clean, good race so far. Of course, he, like everyone else, was lucky to avoid Iwardi's spin going into the first corner. He still holds on to this race lead. Thiago currently about 5 seconds behind him. Paris T32 running in 3rd. He's definitely had a very good race so far. I mean, 14 places gained in the space of just 7 laps. That's definitely a good start to a race in my book. Smoke and Cheese still in control here. The Enologist came out just behind. The battle still going on between Yonkin Gaming and AXR Mitch. He could potentially join that battle. He could have a very good run with the DRS if he can stay behind them, stay right on their tails to come out of the corner. Down the straight they fly. They're right on board with him here as they head down the straight. The DRS open for both Yonkin and Denologist here. As they come down the straight, he pulls out to the left-hand side. He's going to try and go for it. It looks like Yonkin should try and make it 3 abreast going into the corner. Mitch loses out, but only for a moment, because there he goes back up the inside as Yonkin runs wide, and Denologist taking advantage. There he goes through the middle. Incredible overtake, double overtake on both cars through turn 14, and that'll put him back up into P7. He's still got work to do though if he wants to try and catch Afro Ninja. But right now he still is running in a net P1. And he's still got about 4 seconds, potentially even more than that, on C110P fan. When more Smoke and Cheese showing signs of pitting, and Optimus Prime is retired from the session, and Stephalicious has front wing damage, so he may have crashed. And Stephen 471 also out of the race as well. What has happened to those two? Yellow flags are currently out, and the safety car has been deployed. And there we go. The first safety car of the race has been deployed here towards the end of lap number 7. And this could be the perfect opportunity for Smoke and Cheese to come into the pits and potentially not lose too much time. This could be the perfect time for strategy in the way of Smoke and Cheese, CF1 Tiago, and Paris T32, and it may potentially even allow Iwaldy to make its way further forward in the pack. I get the feeling that Deanologist and C110P are currently kicking themselves in the teeth, potentially staying out and taking that risk. Of course, they had no idea the safety car was coming, but there's been a crash regardless. Stephen 471 and Optimus Prime both out of this race. Stephalicious has front wing damage, I think he might have gotten involved. Into the pits comes the Mercedes driver. I assume there'll be a stop for tyres and a front wing change. But still, Stephen 471 and Optimus Prime both out of the race. Engine from Smoke Cheese to the pits now. And over the pit line. Now, what set of tyres will he go on to? Paris choosing to stay out here, and that'll mean that Paris T32 in the Haas, from 17th on the grid, assumes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. So safety car lights are on. Smoke and Cheese away now. Deanologist running in 4th place, but Smoke and Cheese may have just come out in front of him. Nope, never mind. Deanologist has managed to make his way through just about. Afro Ninja also chose not to pit. That puts up into 2nd place as Paris T32 takes his place at the front of the first safety car line. So we're 9 laps into this thing. It's been a very exciting race so far. Just running in 3rd place. He's had a very good race so far. He hasn't really been caught out too much with the safety car, but his lead has been whittled down. C110P fans lost a place in the process. Smoke and Cheese managed to find his way up into 4th place, so that puts him in a net P2. It was Paris T32 and Afro Ninja both need to pit. I mean, they are running on a set of medium tyres. We'll have a look here what tyres everyone's currently running. He heads up, the Deanologist started the fast lap to his name of 1:35.2. So only Paris and Afro Ninja are yet to pit in this race. They've both been running the hard tyres since the start of the race. It's the medium tyres for Deanologist. After he stopped, Smoke and Cheese didn't change his tyres by the looks of things. He just may have got a front wing change. Wait, no, sorry, he must have just gone onto those tyres. These are his first lap he's doing on. C110P fan on the mediums for 1 lap. Tiago and Corkin both on the hards. Iwaldy down in 8th place. He's on the set of mediums, as is Jonathan Gaming, as is AXR Mitch. Positive still has a penalty to his name, means unable to serve that in the pits. He's on a set of hard tyres. He's been on those for 2 laps. Dr. Guy and I changed once again to a set of medium tyres now. He's still running down in P12. Link Ducky's managed to make up a few places here. He's currently on a set of soft tyres. Hopefully that'll be able to give him a huge tyre advantage. He's the only one on those tyres. Paris T32 and Afro Ninja both continue to stay out. Really isn't really much to do here, but wait for the safety car to come back in. Paris T32 leads from Afro Ninja, then it's Deanologist, Smoking Cheese in 4th, and C110P fan rounding out your top 5 as of now. Now it'll be a question of strategy and the idea of what Paris T32 and Afro Ninja choose to do when they get going again. Stephalicious is still going. He's currently 2nd in the safety car line. Of course, Afro Ninja had to find his way past Mercedes if he wants to get going again. Paris T32 here still will continue to hold that lead. It'll be a question of how well he does on the restart to see how good his starting game is. Will he choose to punch up the field? Will he choose to just try and pull away into the distance? Well, we're currently yet to find out. Lights in the safety car still on. So it looks like we'll be going around for one more lap. At this point, C110P will still hold on to his rather extensive championship lead at this point in the race. Of course, other drivers still have a lot of work to do if they want to try and close him down. Like I was saying, it's potential question of strategy as to what Paris T32 and Afro Ninja choose to do. How long do they intend to stay on those hard tyres? Let me ask how much longer do they have to try and keep them up. Get a full track back view for you there. No one's choosing to come in this time. Will this be the last lap that the safety car chooses to stay out for? One can only hope, because we need to get back to racing. There goes Stefanos is back round past Paris T32 there, but only briefly. Moves back behind. Just could have a potential tyre advantage. His tyres are less worn and are of the faster kind, the medium tyres as opposed to the hard ones. So he may have a very good restart here and may pull away once again from these two. He could have chosen to pit when the safety car was first called out. They chose not to. Take a look at the positions gained and lost so far in this race. Paris T32 has gained 16 from his 17th place grid slot. He's had a very good race so far. Afro Ninja's gained 7 places. Dean Algis has lost 1. Smoking Cheese has also lost 1. C110P fan lost 1. CF1 Thiago has also lost 1. Corkin Zero is still in his exact same starting slot. Iwardi HD has lost 7 thanks to that spin on the first lap, however he's done very well to make it back up again. Yonkin Gaming has gained 6. XR Mitch has lost 4 thanks to that pit stop. Positive has lost 1 and starts the penalty to his name. Dr. Guyanai has gained 2. Link Ducky has gained 5 as you get the message that safety car will come in this lap. We'll be able to get back to racing. He 1106 has gained 2 places. FG Alex has lost 7 and Stefanos has lost 3, and of course Steven 471 and Optimus Prime both out of the race. They've lost 6 places respectively. So here we go then. We'll be able to get back to racing this time. As Paris T32 continues to warm his tyres up one final time as the safety car starts pulling away. The lights on the safety car are out. We're restarting this time. Now what does Paris T32 choose to do is Blink Ducky gets a 5-second penalty. He won at 106 with another 5-second penalty for a severe collision with FG Alex. A couple more penalties to add to the list so far. He's prepared to get racing once again. Paris T32 leading us round. So we wait now for the green flag to get the Chinese Grand Prix back underway. He's pulling away, and there he goes. He wants to try and build as big a lead as he can. And the green flag comes back out. We are back to racing here on lap number 12. It's a decent restart here for Afro Ninja, who's still trying to hold off Deanology as they come to turn 1. They're side by side. Have to be very careful not to make contact. They've gone way wide there as Afro Ninja, and that puts Deanology back up into second, but Smoking Cheese looking to try and quickly capitalise. He's up into third place, but Ninja still on the inside as around goes the Ferrari of Afro Ninja in front of the pack. Blink Ducky's out of the session. There's been a crash somewhere in the back. Blink Ducky and FG Alex both out of the race. Regardless, moving further on now towards the front. Paris T32 still has a massive commanding lead now. Of course, he's still going to have to pit, but how long can he take those hard tyres? And how long will it be till Deanology potentially tries to catch him? I'd say, unfortunately for Smoking Cheese, that DRS hasn't been enabled as we get going again, because he's still within a second of Deanology and potentially may have had a chance there. Let's try and take the place back. Regardless, Paris T32 started in 17th place. He's commanding a massive lead now. Yellow flags are out, but we're back to green. Unsure as to why that is. Down the straight they come. Ducky's left the session. Smoking Cheese still trying to close down on Deanologist, trying to gain some of that time back that he lost. C110P fan still running in fourth. So Woody's out to fifth. He's being challenged by Thiago as they head down to turn 14. The Williams driver is looking to go around the outside. He locks up a bit, and that's going to give Woody all the advantage he needs to continue to pull away. And that's P5 secured. He'll be chasing down C110P fan for P4 as Deanologist sets the fastest lap of the race at 1:35.2. He's almost closed down a whole second of that gap that Paris laid out at the start of the race. Sorry, the start of the restart when we got going again. So only 2 drivers left with penalties in this thing. That's both the Aston Martins. We have to see exactly what penalties they are. If positive, it's a 3-second penalty, but hey, 1:18.1106, it's a 5-second penalty. So they come in all single file here as we continue racing. Positive's running right behind AXR Mitch here. It looks like Stefanos is trying to take advantage, of course, still a lap down in that Mercedes. Won't be able to make it any places from here. After an injury running in 13th. Of course, he spun up going through turn 3. He's now got serious work to do if he wants any chance of potentially claiming points from this race. Of course, Positive is currently the last point scorer, but Dr. Guy and I would take that place right now, considering he's within 3 seconds of the Aston Martin driver. Look, switching back now to the race for the lead. Paris is being quickly closed down by Deanologist. I think this lap, this next lap coming is when the DRS will be enabled. The yellow flags are out. And there's Stefanos, who's hit the wall and pulled over to the side. Must have spun out there. That's why they're in the grass. They've stopped. Are they retired from the session? We'll have to wait. We'll have to come back to you on that front. Regardless, Deanologist still chasing down Paris as DRS has been enabled. Here we go. This is where it gets interesting. And Smoking Cheese is now within a second of Deanologist as well. So should he close up, we could potentially see a 3-way race for the top spot here. Paris has been caught. I'm assuming that most likely he'll want to pit after he's been caught and lost the lead, because he's still running those hard tyres. We're halfway through the race. Not quite sure how long he's planning to go on those. Stefanos is still over at the side of the track. He's got himself going again. Very slowly got himself going once more, and there he goes, very nearly losing control. He's hit the tyre barrier. He's spun out again. He's going to have to get him going once more. And there goes Paris. T32 has spun, and we've completely missed that, and around goes the Haas of Paris T32, and he's retired from the session just like that. The race is over for the Haas. He's had such a promising first half of the race so far, but the race has come to an end for Paris T32, and that brings us down to these 2 contenders still lurking with a chance of winning this race. We come towards the halfway stage. Smoking Cheese has DRS on Deanologist. How close will things come here? Stefanos is right there. That's a give blue flags to get him out of the way. Deanologist being chased down. Going down to turn number 14 here. Woody now up into 3rd place on the inside of C110P fan, the championship leader in the Alpine. There goes the AlphaTauri. The pole sitter is back into the podium places. What a drive he's had so far. He's managed to avoid all the chaos, apart from the chaos that he caused himself on the opening lap. Regardless, we continue on, and that's Woody up into 3rd place. C110P fan will no doubt be looking to strike back, as Stefanos has a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, as talking about race control. C110P fan still trailing Woody here. Deanologist has been strong throughout both qualifying and the race so far. It's no surprise he's leading the way. Smoking Cheese still right there though, waiting to pounce if the McLaren driver makes a mistake in that Alfa Romeo. The AlphaTauri of Woody still in control of 3rd place. He's got to be careful because C110P fans will be closing in with the DRS. But right now the AlphaTauri had an incredible drive. He's currently back on the podium. I'm sure he couldn't ask for more at this point other than the victory itself. Move forward now to back towards the battle between Deanologist and Smoking Cheese. Stefanos retires from the session in the Mercedes. We're down to just 12 more runners in this TakeOver Racing League Grand Prix. Down the straight they come once again. Smoking Cheese will have the DRS this time. We're right on board with him here. He opens it up. How much time can he gain? If he can gain enough time here and choose not to make that move, then hopefully he may be able to have a go down the main straight. Look how close he's gotten now. He's within half a second as they go through turn 14, and off turn 14 they come, heading towards the last corner. Deanologist still in complete control of this thing. Once again, back on the DRS as they head down the main straight. See how close it's getting now. Will he try and go for a move? That was very audacious there. He tried to go around the outside, but there goes Deanologist wide up the racetrack. And there goes Smoke and Cheese on the inside. He's got the lead, but only briefly. There goes Deanologist shooting back past him into the top spot. But Smoke and Cheese still sitting right there, potentially trying to capitalize on any mistake that Deanologist might still make. It chose not to pull to the inside there, despite being right on the gearbox of the McLaren in front of him. The race very close here as Iwadi's still being harangued by C110P fan, the championship leader. CF1 Tiago has driven a very consistent race. He still runs in 5th place. Corkin running in 6th. AXR Mitch in 7th. And it's John Gaming 8th. Positive in 9th. And Dr. Guy in 10th. At this point, Positive will still take one last point. Around he goes. There goes the Aston Martin. And that'll plop him down into P10. And that may he'll still get a point at this point in the race, because he's still he's still in front of his teammate who has a 5-second penalty. After an engine's not the place to capitalise, so at this point he'll still take a points finish. I think things are still looking good for at least 1 point for Aston Martin. Now here comes Smoke and Cheese closing in. He pulls to the inside, going down into the hairpin. Very late on the brakes there, and there goes Smoke and Cheese up the inside and into the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Move the Alfa Romeo up a notch. He's your new race leader. Through the last corner they come now. After an engine's retire from the session, he's out this one, and that puts us down to just 11 cars. So it does look like at this point Aston Martin will be scoring points regardless of where they finish. Smoke and Cheese still being tailed by Deanologist as Iwadi runs in front of C110P fan, who's still waiting for a mistake from the AlphaTauri driver. Jonkin Gaming from Mercedes makes his way into the pits. What sort of tyres are we changing onto? He's changed onto another set of mediums. No front wing damage to repair for him. He comes. He's had a better race than his teammate has, but still is currently out of points. Smoke and Cheese, your new race leader, holding on to the top spot. He's built a lead of about half a second already. Iwadi still running in 3rd. And the gaps now between the leader and between everyone else. Iwadi's currently 4 seconds back from the top spot. C110P fans around 5, maybe 6 seconds. CF1 Tiago 9 seconds behind. Corkin is 11 seconds back. And Smoke and Cheese did set the fast lap of 1:34.6. So he'll be getting the extra point. I mean, he'll take maximum points from this race weekend. Taking a look at the position changes now. FG out to the session. Smoke and Cheese has gained 2 places since his 3rd place start. Iwadi still trying to close these guys down. If he can close the gap all the way back and potentially take 2nd or even the victory, then that'll be a race for the ages in the way of Iwadi. Now Deanologist still very close now to Smoke and Cheese. Could have a very good go towards turn 1. He's gone wide there, so he's going to lose a little time. Regardless, he's still got the DRS as they come down the main straight back towards turn number 1 once again to begin lap 18. He's very close there. He's gone a bit wide. He's definitely gone wider than his adversary in the Alfa Romeo in front of him. Iwadi's now still 2 seconds in front of C110P. AXR Mitch has just passed Corkin for 6th place. So the Ferrari driver continuing his push towards the front to try and make up points for his teammate's retirement. Corkin still running right behind the Ferrari, potentially waiting for a mistake of some kind. We're on board with him now, but Mitch is pulling away, so I doubt we'll be able to make anything from that. Unless he tries to brake really late going into this next corner, he's going to think better of it. No point going for a move when he's this far back. Smoke and Cheese still holds the top spot, but Deanologist is only half a second behind. He's lost some more time there, and then Smoke and Cheese can make his way out of DRS range, and he may be able to hold on to this thing. Both these guys will still most likely choose to pit for another set of tyres, as Deanologist very nearly loses the back end of the McLaren machine, but he's still right there holding on to 2nd place. He's still going to have DRS. Smoke and Cheese gets the better exit. They're going back and forth across the track, all the way to the right hand side. He's still gaining all the time. He's still got the DRS with him as well. He's going to close down that gap. Will he try and go for a move going down in towards turn 14? To the outside he goes. Doesn't lock up. Very good driving there. But I don't understand anything. Will he try the switchback though? He's closed down all that time now. He runs right behind the Alfa Romeo. Through the last corner they come here. And with the DRS once again, as the sun starts to make his way out here, Deanologist still gaining all the time, trying to find a way through. Around the outside goes Deanologist, back to the lead as they get back to turn 1. But Smoke and Cheese stays low as Deanologist goes wide, heading through turn number 1. Through the left-hander they come. Smoke and Cheese still on the outside, but it's forced to yield. Move the McLaren car back up to P1. Once again returns to the race lead, but it's not over yet because here comes the Alfa Romeo. Will he try and go for a move? He's looking to the outside. They come very close here. He might try a switchback if he can get good off exit. Deanologist trying to shut him off, but unable to do so. Smoke and Cheese on the outside there. This is going to be very, very tight now as they go through the right-hander and back in towards the left, and they're right on board with Smoke and Cheese. Once again, he manages to hold on and takes the race lead back. But there goes Deanologist back around the outside. Smoke and Cheese trying to force him out. And there goes the McLaren back up into P1 just like that. And I would looking potentially to try and continue to close that gap a bit more. Smoke and Cheese will have the DRS as they come back down the back straight, heading down towards turn 14 once more. To the corner they come. He's going to have the DRS this time when he goes down the straight. Will he be able to close down that time, similar to how Deanologist did on the last lap? It's round 2 between these guys as they head back down towards turn number 14. Look how much time he's gaining there in the Alfa Romeo. Through the corner they come. He's gone a bit wide there. That's going to allow Deanologist to pull away. The yellow flags are out as XR Mitch is out of the session. And that brings us down to just 10 more cars left in this thing. So everyone who's still running will take points from this thing. Regardless, we're still invested in this battle that's going on for the lead up front. Iwardy quickly closing these guys down. 2.8 seconds behind us to go over the line. Like I say, everyone who's currently running will still take points from this Grand Prix. Smoke and Cheese running right behind Deanologist. These two have been going back and forth for the last couple of laps. And we ask, will it come to a head? Who will take the race lead? And will they be able to hold it until the end of the race? Look how close the gap is there, just half a second between the two of them. Less than half a second at this point. And Iwardy's still trying to close that gap. He's brought it down to 2.5 seconds now. Smoke and Cheese at the DRS, so providing he doesn't make any mistakes, he could have a potentially even better go at Deanologist than he did on the last lap. Down the long straight they come towards the left-hander. You can see Iwardy and C110P fan in the distance. They're closing down on the 2 race leaders. Could we see a 4-way race for the win, or will strategy intervene? Which one of these two drivers will blink first? Will one of them choose to pit, or will they both try and stay on these soft tyres until the finish line? Here comes Smoke and Cheese with the DRS once again. It opens up. Down the straight he flies. Staying in the toe of the McLaren in front of him. Will he try and go for a move from a long way back? There he goes on the inside. Moves back into line. Thinks better of it. So he'll stay in P2 for the time being. Down he comes now. Towards the last corner. Deanologist goes a little bit wide there. Regardless, he's still staying in the top spot. Nothing lost of big proportions. Going down towards turn 1 to begin lap 21. You can see how close Smoke and Cheese is now as they go into the first corner. The last thing we want for these two is to wipe each other out and have them both not finish the race on the podium, because they've both delivered commanding drives today. They both deserve it as much as each other, but only one of them can win this thing. So one of them will have to be content with second place, while the other one will take the ultimate victory. Iwardy's still closing down. Deanologist has led the good majority of the race here, and he's still in control of it. He's delivered a champion's drive today. The kind of drive that most racers would envy having to watch. Smoke and Cheese, though, still trying to take it away from him. And Iwardy still running there in P3 with C110P fan in 4th. CF1 Tiago still driven a very good race so far. He runs in 5th place. A very consistent drive from the Williams man today. Corkin still runs 6th. Dr. Guyanai has had a very good race in the end, avoiding the chaos. He currently runs in 7th place. Positive down in 8th. Duncan Gaming in 9th. And he won 106 in 10th. Down the straight they come once again. Smoke and Cheese will have another shot here. Will he take his chance this time? Down the straight they fly. Would the DRS open once more? Look how close he is this time. It is the 3rd time the charm for Smoke and Cheese as they head down into the corner. He brakes early. What's he trying to do here? He didn't get a better exit. Deanologist pulls away. They're still going here through the last corner. Deanologist got a bit squirrely out the last corner. Iwardy heads into the pits here. Down that straight come the 2 leaders. Also Smoke and Cheese try and go for a move through the opening couple of corners. He's gone a bit wider than his adversary in front of him. But there goes Deanologist opening up the door for Smoking Cheese to try and push his way inside. Doesn't manage to take the initiative. And that's why Deanologist still holds on to the lead. We've got a virtual safety car here. And that's going to slow everyone up. E1106 has front wing damage. That's not good. Youngkin Gaming running in 9th place, positive, taking the opportunity to pit as a C110P fan. Dr. Guy puts him on to P6 now. Iwardy now back on the track. He's down in P5. As Deanologist has now built a 1.5 second lead, but he's having to slow up here to get his Delta back online. Well, this CF1 Tiago now finds himself in a podium position. We have to wait now to be able to get back underway. Deanologist trying to build as much of a lead as he can without exceeding the Delta rules. Well, however, Smoking Cheese is still right there. It wouldn't be the best time for him to get back underway for Deanologist because the DRS will be right there. We wait now for the safety car to get, or the virtual safety car to get back off the track and be able to get racing again. And there it is, the green flag will go back underway here. The DRS is enabled once more. But at this point, Smoking Cheese has a bit of a gap to gain back. And Deanologist is chosen to come into the pits here. We're watching him take this pit stop. Oh, sorry about that. Into the pits he comes here for a change, going on to a set of soft tyres here, which will definitely see him through to the finish. CF1 Tiago now into second, Smoking Cheese yet to pit. How long can he stay out on those medium tyres before he has to stop himself? This puts Corkin up into third place. He's still on those medium tyres. Will they be enough to see him through the last 6 laps of the race to the end? Iwardy now running right behind driver he was challenging in qualifying for pole position. Of course, Iwardy emerged victorious on that occasion. Will he emerge victorious this time? If he can stay within the DRS range of Deanologist, he might just have a chance. Dr. Guy closing in on these two now. He's still 3 seconds behind. He's driven a very good race in the way of avoiding the chaos. C110P fan, after taking his stop, is down to P7. Youngkin Gaming running 8th place, positive 9th. AG1106 running in 10th. Smoking Cheese has the track all to himself at this point. He's 12 seconds in front of CF1 Tiago, very nearly 13 as he flies down the main straight. Sorry, down the back straight. We question whether he'll choose to pit or not. He's got about a 20-second gap on Deanologist. We'll look at the gap between the leaders. Deanologist currently in a net P1. Does Smoking Cheese choose to come in? He does not. He chooses to stay out here. So we'll continue to keep an eye on the gap between those two. Iwardy's still running right behind Deanologist here. Will he try and have a go down the main straight? He's currently running in a net P2. Sorry, net P3. It all depends on where Smoking Cheese comes out. I reckon at this point both these two will catch him, as Iwardy sets the fastest lap on those soft tyres at 1:33.1. These are very different laps to the ones we saw in qualifying. Just goes to show the difference between wet and dry weather racing. Deanologist has a penalty of some kind. I didn't actually notice that. We'll have a look to see what that's for. He's got a 5-second penalty, and this could be big, as this could potentially give Smoking Cheese just a little bit more time. And this will move Iwardy up into second place if these guys in front of them choose to pit. Iwardy still could technically win this race, because right now he does look to be in range to pass Smoking Cheese. He could fight it all the way back and potentially still take the victory. Deanologist, though, not giving up, desperate to try and get away from Iwardy. He's currently trying to pass Corkin for third place. Does Smoking Cheese choose to pit here? He's got 4 more laps to try and hold on those soft tyres. I reckon he might try and hold on unless he chooses to pit here. He's staying out once again. As Deanologist makes the move now, he's up into third place. And there goes Iwardy following him through as well. It's around 4 seconds to Thiago in front of them for second place. Smoking Cheese is still holding on to this race lead. Even at this point, as slow as he's going, he's definitely losing time, but these guys won't catch him coming into the race if they keep going like this. Oh, sorry about that. Smoking Cheese continuing on here, still trying to make these medium tyres go all the way to the end of the race. The only question that remains is, can he do it? At this point, I already will take the last podium place because of that 5-second penalty for Deanologist. Positive will still finish in 9th, even with his 3-second penalty, because Hell 06 is that far back. Smoking Cheese has driven a very good race, and looks like strategy may be what gives him this one if he continues to try and stay out. CF1 Thiago still running in second. If he chooses to stay out, it would be a very good finish for him. But Deanologist is still there, running in P3, closing down on the Williams driver. And Iwardi has lost a bit of time here, but he'll still take the position. He could still finish in second place. Thiago moving around in front of him, trying to break the toe. Regardless, Deanologist and Iwardi have both caught him here. Corkin Zero still running in 5th place. He's being chased down by a C110P fan. Through the last corner they come here. Deanologist still chasing the Williams driver. There he goes out onto the left-hand side, around the outside going to turn 1 as he's pulled off many audacious passes today. Super move from Deanologist. That puts him up into second place. Iwardi will be looking to capitalise here, making sure not to spin again like he did on the opening lap. He moves just in behind Thiago. Just trying to reduce the risk here. There's a bit of contact. And there goes Thiago moving out to the left-hand side. And there goes Iwardi through up into 3rd place. And that'll put him into 2nd in the race road unless Deanologist can pull away. But it does look like Smoking Cheese is trying to run these tyres all the way to the finish line. Let's have to have a look at the tyre data if we can. He's been running those mediums for 16 laps. He's been running them since we were under the safety car. So he's driven a very good race here and definitely deserves the victory. And the strategy he's putting off here is really going to work. The one stop. I mean, he's one of the few drivers to have taken one stop. The rest of them all took 2. It's paid off for some of them, but it may not pay off for Deanologist or Iwardi in the chase for the top spot. Down the straight he comes. Iwardi still chasing him, but not close enough to make a move for 2nd place. But I don't think he needs to worry about that, because he knows if he stays where he is, he'll finish 2nd. And right now, Deanologist will still lose out to CF1 Thiago, so he'll finish 4th in this race. Through the last corner come the 2nd and 3rd place cars. 2 more laps now to go for Smoking Cheese. He's still got 11 seconds on Deanologist. It is looking more and more likely that he will win this race. Exceptional strategy work done today. It's definitely paying off for him. But it all depends on how much wear those tyres have left, how much more they can stand. Currently, they still look to be in very good condition by anyone's standards, but he's definitely showing no signs of losing grip, apart from perhaps some of those high-speed corners. But regardless, he's still on for the checkered flag here. Just doing all he can to try and close that gap and try and pull away from Iwardi and CF1 Thiago, but they are still running in 2nd and 3rd technically. As around comes Smoking Cheese now, the gap within 10 seconds. Unless there's some kind of issue on Smoking Cheese's car, or unless Deanologist taps into some inner ability and manages to gain 10 seconds in the space of 1 lap and make the move, it's just not happening. Smoking Cheese is going to win this race. No worries for him out back. Through the hairpin he comes now, coming round to start his final lap, the final lap of this Chinese Grand Prix. Through the last corner he comes to start his last lap of the race. The yellow flags are out in sector 3, unsure that's 4. And it looks like Yonkin Gaming has spun the car, and that may Deanologist as another 3-second time penalty, and that could give Corkin, and C110P fan, that could potentially give them even more places. That could caused Deanologist to fall even further down the order. Iwardy's still in 3rd place, and it looks like CF1 Tiago definitely take 4th. Corkin is still potentially a bit of a risk. Regardless, Deanologist will not be finishing on the podium today. I'll tell you one man who definitely will be at this point, Smoke and Cheese, who looks on for victory. The gap now 8.5 seconds. It's definitely not going to close down within this last lap unless Smoke and Cheese spins out. The strategy gamble he's taken coming into this one has definitely paid off, making only one stop under that safety car, which has played perfectly to his advantage. He ran in 3rd place on the start as C110P fan and Deanologist chased each other down for the lead. He lay in wait, and when the safety car came out, he took advantage of that and pitted at the perfect time. And he's managed to have a really good restart, avoided the chaos in front of him, and this gamble has paid off. As Deanologist can't do anything, he's still focusing on trying to pull away from Iwardy and CF1 Tiago. Now Smoke and Cheese now in the Alfa Romeo rounds the final couple of corners through turn 14 for the last time and into turn 15 to take victory here at the Chinese Grand Prix. It's Smoke and Cheese who takes the checker flag and wins here in Shanghai. Incredible drive from the Alfa Romeo driver as Deanologist comes out the last corner and towards the line. What does he have left? Over the line for 2nd place. Another 5-second time penalty for an unserved penalty, and that'll push him even further down the order. Iwardy finishes 2nd, CF1 Tiago down to 3rd, C110P fan just about loses out, so Deanologist will finish 4th in this thing. Corkin over the line, he finishes 6th. Dr. Guyanai has driven a very good race, outclassed by his teammate on the strategy gamble he took, but regardless, 7th place in a very good race for him. Positive in 8th place. It looks like he won't hold on as Jonken Game moves up to 8th place. And it's HE1106 who will take the last place in the order. But it's Smoke and Cheese who takes victory here. Incredible drive from him. Like I said, a strategy gamble paid off perfectly. Iwardy coming back through the field to finish in 2nd place after a spin on the 1st lap. You would have thought that he would have laid down and just given up. But regardless, it's over. He's up into 2nd place, and CF1 Tiago has had such a consistent drive today. He managed to stay apart from the rest of the pack in the ways of chaos and still comes out with a podium finish. I believe that Iwardy set the fastest lap come the end of the race. If we just look at who set the fastest lap, yes, it was him. The only drivers to tap into the 133 range. But it is Smoke and Cheese who wins in the TakeOver Racing League today at the Chinese Grand Prix. Once again, my congratulations go to him for his absolutely exceptional drive, as Dr. Guyanai takes driver of the day in the other Alfa Romeo. As here they come now out onto the podium for the victory celebrations. Smoke and Cheese deserving the victory today after the gamble he took paid off, and he is your winner here in China as the celebrations begin. Well earned they are indeed. A very good race here, another good race in the TakeOver Racing League Season 2. We hope you'll continue to join us for more and more races as the season goes on, as we'll take a look here at the final results when they come through. So there you have it then, Smoke and Cheese the winner, Iwardy in 2nd place, CF1 Tiago 3rd, Deanologist 4th, and C110P fan rounds out your top 5. Corkin in 6th, Dr. Guyanai 7th, Jonken Gaming in 8th, Positive in 9th, and HE1106 in 10th place. Only 10 finishes come to the end of the race. Regardless, that is the end of things. If you have enjoyed it, then make sure to tune in next time for our next Grand Prix.